Hello, Millwall fans. Paul Eiffel here. It's time for Chat with Chaps.
Post-match analysis for Chat with Chaps, where it's just finished at the Den. Millwall 0, Bristol City 2. Bristol City become the first side to beat us by more than one goal at the Den since Sheffield Wednesday did on the 17th of February 2024. Over a year has gone. And I also, and fact check me on this, I also think they're the first side to do a double over us this season, obviously beating us at their home Ashton Gate 4-3 earlier on in the season. A performance to me that we looked tired. I never felt we really got going. I think that Bristol City, being honest, I don't think they're anything special, but what they did today was they were good in terms of their organisation. They pressed us well. And if I'm honest, I think they did enough to beat us. Whether it was 2-0 or not, I don't know, but they did enough to beat us today. And I think any hopes of the playoffs for us has completely gone. We're only 9 points off the relegation zone now, so it's fine margins. I think we'll be fine, but I think the point here is that I think we're sort of around 10 games to go. I think that is basically our season over and done with. Unless you disagree, tell me, of course, in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. I always say those in weird different orders, but look, everything we're doing this season is for cancer research. Some exciting things coming up from that perspective, and would really appreciate any comments, likes. So this is your call to action to like, and of course, new subscriptions to the channel would be much appreciated. All right, let's get into it as we always do. Kicking off with the lineup. So, of course, a changing goal with Lucas Jensen coming into the starting lineup. Obviously, Liam Roberts was in goal for the Crystal Palace game, and the media circus that has ensued since then is quite frankly laughable. I hope Liam Roberts is okay. I hope Mateta's okay. And to be honest, it's the last I want to say on it because it's turned into something that it never should have done. So the lineup was Lucas Jensen in goal, right back, of course, Tristan Kramer coming back into the side. There was a bit of a debate on Twitter in terms of did Wes Harding deserve to start again today? And I think for me personally, it's a bit of a moot point because I can't see how Wes Harding would have been fit enough to start again today. But for me, Kramer is still ahead in the pecking order. No disrespect to Wes, of course. I think he's got a great place in the squad. But Tristan Kramer at right back, Japhet Tanganga, Jake Cooper, and then Joe Bryan as the left back. In the centre of the park, Billy Mitchell and Kasper Denor. And then the front three behind returning Mihailo Ivanovic was on the right-hand side, Reyes Bangura Williams. In the 10, Luke Cundle, Femi Aziz on the left-hand side. I think from a Bristol City perspective, a couple of players to mention that I've always really been impressed with. I think down the width, they've got really good players in terms of Campering and Mark Sykes and Sinclair Armstrong. You know, he's a willing runner. He's physical. He's strong. He can hold the ball up. And then the likes of Jason Knight, Bird, etc. in the centre of the park are always going to cause us problems. I think so. In terms of the first half, I think that there wasn't much to talk about, was there? Let's be honest. I'm looking at my notes here, and there isn't much that I've noted down. I've noted down that Tanganga took a long throw. I've not seen that before. I've wrote down that I thought Luke Cundle, Mihailo Ivanovic, and to a slightly lesser extent, but still, Reyes Bangura Williams were non-existent in the first half. I felt that they between sort of 15 and 25, I think they were in the ascendancy and were certainly causing us problems. And then from 35 to 45, I felt that we did. But we just looked tired, not just physically tired, but mentally tired. And I don't know. It just looked like quite a disjointed performance. And I just felt that I could just tell from the first half it was going to be a bit of a struggle. I think the other thing as well to note was the player for me, or the players that were trying to create something in the first half, and I felt were really taking it to Bristol City, was Joe Bryan and Femi Aziz. I felt our left-hand side was where, if we were going to make anything happen, it was going to happen. But let's be honest, we didn't really create anything, and neither really did Bristol City in that first half. The second half, I'll be honest, I was quite surprised to see Femi Aziz go off. I can only assume it's an injury. Obviously, adding to the injury that was picked up by Kamil Negley at the weekend, who was in a protected boot tonight. So hoping that, obviously, he's not too bad and Femi Aziz isn't too bad. I was impressed with the impact that Emakhu had. Excuse me. I think what Emakhu does is he is so direct with his running. You know, he's a different type of prospect to Aziz, who uses trickery and his ability to cross, etc. But Emakhu is just rapid, and there's not many players that can keep up with him. And the system that Bristol City play exposes Sykes to, you know, this type of threat. And I thought Emakhu had a bit of an impact the moment he come on. But of course, you know, 5 minutes later and we're 1-0 down. So this is obviously I've not had the benefit of seeing this back. I put this recording straight out. Bristol City on 52. The most disappointing thing for me is it's a corner. It's a set piece. We look vulnerable from them all night, which I think is telling, really, because we're not normally. The corner comes in. We lose the first contact, which I think it was Dickey. I'm not sure, which is just really poor. It lands to Pring. Pring literally just cuts it back across goal, and Zach Finer fires it into an empty net. It was fairly routine. And this is the problem I have, and this is fine margins in Championship football. Did Bristol City deserve to win? Yeah, they did, to be honest, because they created the two best chances of the game. But how they created those two chances were things that we are normally good at. And that's the thing that frustrates me. The other thing that frustrates me, and I'm full of praise for Alex Neil, and I definitely think, as I've said many times before, he's the right man for the Millwall job, and I think he's done a fantastic job so far. But the thing that does concern me is the home form. You know, our home form is, you know, it's bottom six since Alex Neil has come in. If again, fact check me on that. And then our away form is top 10. So that's something that certainly needs to be addressed. Look, at the end of the day, I do believe as a club we're preparing for next season, and that's okay. The other thing as well, that when you look at the lineup, I'm just checking my notes here. When you look at the lineup that was put out, there are only 4 players that were permanent members of the squad last season, which I think is a really interesting point. You know, you look at, so Jensen wasn't here last season. You look at the back 4. Kramer wasn't here last season. Tanganga was only on loan at this stage last season, so I don't include him. Jake Cooper was. Joe Bryan was. Billy Mitchell was. Casper Denor was. And then you look at the front 4. Ivanovic wasn't. Kundal wasn't. Aziz wasn't. Reyes Bangura Williams was at the club, but he wasn't involved in the first team setup. So, you know, it's a very new team. I think we've signed 15 or 16 players since the summer. So there's a lot of changeover. And for me, what the club is trying to do is to kind of embed these players and be ready for success next season. And I don't mind that. I don't begrudge that. But at times like tonight, where it's a lethargic performance, it's tired, both physically and mentally, I think you need a little bit of leadership. And I think that was a little bit lacking tonight. So we go 1-0 down. We have a half chance on 57 again, created by Emakhu. We then try to change the game on 68. Kundal goes off and Coburn comes on. We go 2 up top. Does it actually change the game for me? No, it doesn't. The only thing that I felt changed at that moment was Reyes Bangura Williams came more central, and I thought he had a bigger impact on the game. I think before then he was pretty, quiet, along with Kundal, along with Ivanovic. But I felt when he went central, I think this is where you see him really starting to show his qualities. A couple of through balls that he played with that were unlucky. I think Raisman Williams has to play in a 10. You know, and at the moment, I have not seen personally enough from Luke Cundle to suggest that he's any better. You know, nothing really happens. We then make some substitutions. Saville and Honeyman come on. Interesting at no Connolly, but a minute later, Bristol City score, and it is route one. The goalkeeper pumps the ball upfield. We lose the first contact, which again is so un-Millwall-like. Really, really poor. Couple of passes, and then to me, Jensen needs to do better. It's a pretty tame effort that he doesn't hold. He palms it straight into the arms of their forward. And Harry Cornick, the substitute, who's got a habit of scoring against Millwall, he did many times when he played for Luton, makes it 2-0 and it's game over. I think coincidentally, we probably had our best chance on it was like the last kick of the game, wasn't it? But it wasn't anything. Let's be real, we created nothing tonight and we deservedly got 0 points. So it was a tired performance. You know, and I think tonight still showed where we need to add some quality. I really like Tristan Crammer. He's a lot quicker than I thought, by the way. Tonight, you know, a couple of bursts of pace that I really liked, but he's not a right back. The system we play gives us so much space and time down the right-hand side. He's not a right back. And do you know what? As much as I love Ryan Leonard, and anyone who listens to this often enough will know that I'm a big Ryan Leonard fan. And I'm delighted that he's been given a contract extension, or he's triggered it, should I say, for next season. I don't think he's the answer. I think we need a more attacking right back. I think that showed, or it has shown in the last few games. Billy Mitchell and Casper Denor, I think we need more from them. Whether I agree with they're the right pairing or not, I'm not sure. I think Casper Denor, 100%, needs to be in the side. But Billy Mitchell, George Saville, are either of them, you know, where we need them to be in order for us to get to the next level. I feel like we need some kind of deep line playmaker type role. I'm not criticising because I think both Billy Mitchell and George Saville have their qualities, but I'm talking about if we want to progress. And then again tonight, look, love Mihailo. I think he's going to be a great player for us, but he was anonymous for the first 60 minutes. And we need someone that's really in the game. And I've already touched on Cundle. So I think tonight showed again that whilst we've made good progress, a lot of signings, and it's going to take time for this group to gel, I still think we're a few short if we want to really start to move forward and be at the level that Bristol City are for next season. You know, I think that Bristol City, they've got a quite a young squad, quite an athletic squad. And I think that's probably where, you know, we need to be looking at next season to be on the periphery of the top 6. But it's frustrating. And yes, I think to go from the performance with 10 men on Saturday to this is disappointing, but it is probably representative of the whirlwind that has been the last sort of 72 hours as a Millwall fan, and the players are probably feeling it, and they're probably absolutely shattered after having to play 85 minutes with 10 men, again, both mentally and physically. So look, I'm not going to cover any more than that. There's nothing really more to talk about. We lose 2-0 for the first time in over a year. Bristol City have done a double over us, and to be honest, I think that's the end of our playoff hopes. Pick up a couple of more wins between now and the end of the season will be fine, of course, but gives us some time to test out some ideas ahead of next season. And that's it. I don't really know what else to say, to be totally honest. Actually, I will say the comments on the Crystal Palace game, I really appreciate. It was a tough game to analyse, I think, given what went on and the media circus that followed. So I really do appreciate it, because I put these out and I never know if I'm going to get pelters or not. So thank you for the positivities in the comments. Thank you as always for the, just listening to me, to the lads on the channel. We really do appreciate it. And I keep hinting at something exciting coming. I'm confident in the next 7 to 10 days, I'll be able to announce exactly what that is and share with you some exciting news for the channel. But nonetheless, enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks as always for listening. And of course, bye for now.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.